May 1997, City 1, Pepper 37. Charlton 0, things can only get better. That's how City fans feel right now as their side remain rooted to the bottom of League One with games fast running out. The chances of a late escape are ebbing away with only 7 more opportunities to haul themselves out of the relegation zone. The next match against Charlton is hardly the easiest to claw back some points on their rivals. But City have been staring down the barrel before and come up with a big win over the same opponents. It was the night that Tony Blair swept into power at number 10 and made the Reims anthem, "Things Can Only Get Better," the soundtrack of a nation. All eyes were fixed on Downing Street as New Labour's leader toppled John Major's government to take control. All eyes, except those in BD8, who were absorbed in their own equally tense battle to stay in Division 1. Voting had almost finished on who would drop to the third tier. Oldham and Southend were already down and the final relegation place rested between the Bantams and Grimsby. Election night was the game in hand for Chris Kamara's men. Nothing less than 2 home wins over Charlton and then QPR would do in avoiding an immediate drop just a year after the club's first successful trip to Wembley had secured promotion. The club had taken the players away to a hotel the previous night to concentrate the minds. Valley Parade had the feel of a cup final in front of a healthy crowd of 15,780. But Charlton were not just there to make up the numbers and Alan Kirbishley's men had 2 good chances to break the early deadlock. Midfielder Mark Kinsella struck the underside of the bar after 13 minutes before Aidan Davison made a fine save to thwart Bradley Allen. With winger John Robinson a constant threat, City found themselves at full stretch to keep out the attacking Addicts. But the home side weathered the storm and then sent the crowd wild with a well-worked opening goal 8 minutes before the break. Nigel Pepper had been a doubt all week with a knee problem he had suffered at Barnsley the previous Saturday. But he was past fit to play, and delivered the big moment. Tommy Wright was the architect, making the most of his opportunity on the main stage after being restricted to reserves football. The injury hit Wright was making his first start and his in-swinging free kick picked out Pepper who powered a header into the roof of the net. After seeing Tommy's performance, "I regret not playing him more often," admitted Kamara afterwards. "I thought he was magnificent." Wright's probing down the left flank continued to cause Charlton bother and keeper Andy Pedersen needed 2 grabs at the winger's fierce shot after being set up by Eugenio. Pedersen then had to go full stretch to tip over another right effort as City hunted the security of a second goal. But Davison had to remain just as alert at the other end to deny Mark Bright's downward header. John Newton also blazed over the bar from a promising position as the slender advantage came under late threat. Pedersen thwarted Pepper before City's nerves grew more frayed when full-back Richard Laborde blotted an otherwise strong display by appearing to aim a headbutt at Robinson. A second yellow card for the defender meant they had to negotiate a tense finale down to 10 men. But City hung on for a result every bit as significant for them as the political one that would dominate the headlines for days to come. A victory provided the springboard for Kamara and co to complete their escape mission 3 days later with a 3-0 win over QPR. Pepper, signed for £100,000 from York 2 months earlier, again came to the fore with the pick of the goals, a right-footed rocket that screamed past helpless Rangers stopper Tony Roberts to rubber stamp survival. "I never thought we deserved to be relegated because the football we played was really good," said Pepper in an interview 10 years later. "I honestly felt we were in a false position. But we knew it was all about staying in the division and then we could rebuild, and 2 years later the club were going into the Premiership. That's how quickly the situation can change. It doesn't matter if you only just stay up because the next season the slate is wiped clean." City, Davison, Laborde, Jacobs, Dreyer, Mohan, Kulkser, Murray, Wright, Newell, Eugenio, Sunday got 78, Pepper. Charlton, Pedersen, Brown, Barnes, Mortimer, Leeburn 66, Rufus, Bomber, Newton, Bright, Robinson, Allen, Kinsella. Referee, Bill Burns, Scarborough. Attendance, 15,780.